Campaign 2013 Independence City Elections. This elections forum is a partnership of Office 112, the Independence Area Chamber of Commerce, the Buchanan County Economic Development Office, and media sponsor, the Bulletin Journal.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Welcome to the official candidate forum for the Independence City Council elections of 2013.
Okay, we're going to begin with the first ward candidates. We'd like them to come forward. Mike Hayward, Gene Hermson, and Mike Lenius. We'll start with Mike and, Mike Hayward, and each candidate will get a 60-second introduction. Each of you have a program that gives their biography or critical information about them, so you can read that. But they each get a minute to introduce themselves, then we'll go through the questions, and then they get another minute for closing. And we'll change the order a little bit so that not each person has to go first. So, Mr. Hayward, do you want to begin?
Sure, my name is Mike Hayward. I'm a lifelong resident of Independence. My parents were lifelong residents of Independence. I've been married to my wife Linda for 32 years. I have 3 sons and a granddaughter. Independence has been home to us for a long, long time. I graduated from Independence High School in 1969. I graduated from UNI in 1973 with a bachelor's degree in accounting. I've worked at MHI for over 30 years. My current position is a youth counselor supervisor. We chose to stay in Independence because of the people and the location. The people have been great. They've helped me raise my kids and helped me get raised, and this is my opportunity to give back to the community. I feel Independence has an ideal location with our close proximity to Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, and Dubuque, all reachable within an hour and 15 minutes. Within that time, we have access to multiple shopping outlets, entertainment venues, college campuses, above and beyond what is available in our community.
Okay, next, Mrs. Hermson.
I'm Gene Hermson. I have lived in Buchanan County most of my life. I grew up in Fairbank, graduated from IC High School. My parents were in the trucking business and owned and operated the school buses. I've been married to Merlin Hermson for 19 years. He is retired from John Deere. We belong to St. John's Catholic Church. My 3 sons, Michael, Patrick, and David, and my 3 daughters, Kathleen, Diane, and Krista, all graduated from Independence High School. I have 13 grandchildren, 5 step-grandchildren, and 13 great-grandchildren, and 3 step-great-grandchildren. Over 8 years, I watched 2 grandchildren full-time. My work experience started in Akko and Owine. Later, for 16 years, I worked in the family aviation business, and 24 years at Walnut Grove, where I advanced from secretary to depot manager and then warehouse manager. I have 10.5 years experience on the council. My goal over the years was working for the best interest of the city and the citizens, and continue to have the city operated efficiently. I have lived here, and I'm working on the council and trying to do a good job to increase awareness of the budget and what has to be done and what needs to be done. And
okay. We got kind of a problem here because Michelle's flashing the cards and you're speaking to the audience, so I don't know how to get you. Look out of one eye over here and one of the other eye over there. Maybe you could go down in front.
It might be.
Okay, Mr. Lenius.
I think everybody has our bios and everything, so I won't go through mine. Julie and I have both been lifelong residents here. And I've always wanted to participate in city government, but because until just a year ago, most of my career I spent traveling, didn't really have the time to dedicate to doing this. And my reasons for running are simple. Especially with the new school and everything, I think we have an excellent springboard into the future for our children. Our daughter Jenny is a kindergarten teacher here, and we have 3 grandkids. We see all the things that the kids are involved with, the sports and and everything. We see the things that are going on in the community. And I would just like to be a part of moving the community forward and look forward to the support of the people of the First Ward. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, sir, Mr. Hermsen, you'll get the first question here. Gene, if you can describe 3 of your specific qualities and or experiences that you believe would be an asset to being on the council.
Well, my qualities would be I have a lot of patience. I will listen to the people, and I try to, if they have a concern, I try to get it handled. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes you never get it done. I think my asset is my work experience that I've had. I've worked with employees, I've worked with budgets, and I consider myself an open person. Anybody can talk to me and I'll talk to them.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lanius, what do you see as the biggest concern of the residents in your ward?
Well, I think probably, as with everybody, you know, it all comes down to taxes and things like that. But I think from my standpoint, and what I think that the people of our ward and the people of the city would like, is really to have safe streets and to have a community that our children grow up in and want to come back to and stay in the Independence and help grow it from there.
Mr. Haywood, how would you create cooperation and respect between council members and respect for the city department heads and their employees as a council person?
Well, first of all, I think that during the hiring process, you try to get the best person available, and if you hire a good person, you don't need to micromanage them. You know, they're professionals, they're going to do their job to the best of their abilities, and I think if you show them respect and cooperation, they will turn around and do a good job for you. And if you run into a problem, you'll have to deal with that on an individual basis. But I think generally you reap what you sow. If you give people honesty and hard work, they'll give you the same thing back.
Okay, Mr. Lanius, describe some of the environmental and sustainable initiatives that you would advocate on the council.
Well, I think probably one of the things that draws as much attention as anything is the river and the dam. And there's no easy answers to it. But obviously, if you look at the people upriver and the situations down, we need to try to do something. One of the things that I would do, and I think I'd like to be part of it even if I wouldn't be elected, is Tree City USA. In my travels over the years, I've seen countries and I've seen cities that do a magnificent job of using trees and bushes and things like this for the environment. And I believe that Tree City USA would be a very important initiative for Independence.
Mr. Hayward, what would you like to accomplish as a council person in the next year and in the long term during your term? And then the third part to this question is, how would you do that?
All 3 parts in 60 seconds.
Why don't you take the first year and how you would do that?
I think the first year, there's going to be some growing pains because we're going to have a minimum of 3 new people on the council and possibly 4. And I think the process is extremely difficult, and it's going to be slow going for the new members of the council. So I think it's going to be important for the veterans to step up, be leaders, and take charge during the first year. The rest of the term, my goal for being on the council would be that we can see a big growth in the tax base, which then provides extra revenue to where we can either hold the line on taxes or do some of the extra things that kind of the frilly stuff, you know, to the trails and some of that stuff that's also needed.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Hermson, one of the city slogans is "Proud People Promoting Progress." Is that slogan relevant in your view, and why do you believe that?
Well, I think it's still relevant, and we had a contest years ago that people picked that out. And I do think that the people in the community do feel proud of their community. I'm sure they feel that there's things that could be done and probably will be done in the future. And I think the slogan's still good.
That wraps up our questions. We'll go through here again and give you a chance for some closing remarks. Mr. Haywood?
Okay, I'm all about moving Independence forward. I feel that fostering the growth of our tax base is fundamental to accomplishing this goal. In order to grow, we need to employ the help of the experts we have at our disposal. That includes the Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development, our local business community, and the many and diversified talents of our local citizens. Together we can accomplish what we set our minds to. Individually, we're going to struggle. To use an analogy, if we decided we were going to buy Joe Olson a gift tonight, if we get 10 people to go in on that gift, it's going to cost $10 a piece. If I can find 25 people, it's only going to cost us $4 a piece. Now we can either get a nicer gift or we can just be less out of pocket. Bottom line is we have options. You know, the more people we get contributing into the pie. And I think that's important for Independence to grow.
Thank you. Mrs. Hermson?
Well, there's a lot to be done. There's a lot that we need to go back, that we've worked on in 4 years. Go back over those goals and projects, see what we can finish up. Lost of words here.
Mr. Lanius?
I guess I believe that, again, going back to some of the things that have been done in the last few years, probably the school in particular, we have an excellent opportunity to grow the number of people coming into the community. Because I think in the end, you have a couple basic reasons why people come to a community. And one would be your school system for their kids. The other is parks and recs. If you have an excellent parks and recs, their kids get involved, you get them out of the houses, you get them really them participating, and you can see it from some of the summer sports and even the fall sports. The people that come out to participate in these are really impressive. I would also like to, I believe that there's a stronger need for a lot of respect of others during the council meetings and things, and I would like to be part of that.
Okay, thank you, first ward candidates.